Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah. I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby. It's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video, episode, podcast, whatever you want to call it here. Welcome in, come one, come all. How's everybody doing up here in the chat? Welcome in. We are going to have a good, fun-filled show for you today. And as you can tell by the title of this video, biggest question out there is, are we out on Carl Lawson? If you guys didn't hear, I ended up putting it on my social media as well as on my community post here on YouTube, and it seems like the Arizona Cardinals, although yes, they did work him out, there was a source that said that he doesn't expect the Arizona Cardinals to sign him. And of course, we didn't get any breaking news today, so it almost kind of feels like that might be the route the Arizona Cardinals are going to go with no Carl Lawson. But as of right now, I'm just giving you the information that I end up having here. But I want to give a huge shout out here to the sponsor of the video, BetUS. If you're looking for a brand new sports book, BetUS is the way to go. Got the fastest payouts in the industry, and they also go ahead and give you 125% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits, and link will be in the description below if you're interested. I want to give some quick shout outs here to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Looney, we got Otis, Adrian, Venom. Is that Kitty? What's up, Kitty? Daniel, what's going on? Andy, appreciate y'all. Daniel, I see you up in the chat as well. Thank you so much for being here. Michael, I see you there as well. We're going to have a good, fun-filled show for you today. We're talking everything Arizona Cardinals, all surrounding preseason. We're going to be majority talking about preseason week 1 versus the Saints, because we also got some good news with the bad news with Marvin Harrison Jr. We're going to be diving into that all that together. So let's first start off with, I guess, the elephant in the room, right? Let's talk about the elephant in the room with Carl Lawson. Now, if you guys do not know, there was a report coming out here from John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports, and it says this: Cardinals had defensive end Carl Lawson in for a workout yesterday, but I don't expect them to sign him. Now, we've all been talking about the idea that the Arizona Cardinals are going to at least try to fill in the need of BJ Ojulari. This is not the step in the right direction for the Arizona Cardinals to do that. Now, I'm glad that the Arizona Cardinals are bringing in people, right? I'll give kudos to where kudos is due, right? Monty Ossenfort in this front office acknowledges the fact that we do need some sort of need. And this is some sort of need, right? The Carl Lawson was a name that I actually kind of throw out there when I had a video. I believe I released it 2 or 3 days ago, maybe even 4 days ago. I don't know when I released it, but Carl Lawson was a name out there as well, that I kind of threw out there as a potential, maybe not a full replacement for BJ Ojulari going down, but it's somebody that at least fans can kind of get excited about if he does, sign with the Cardinals. And being that we actually heard that the Cardinals are working him out, I'm like, oh man, sheesh, what are the odds? But per John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports, it seems like he doesn't feel like the Cardinals are going to sign him. And because we didn't hear any breaking news today, it almost kind of feels like, yeah, they probably won't sign him. Now, I won't panic just yet. If you're a Cardinals fan and you're kind of wondering to yourself, what is this front office doing, right? We still have upwards of $30+ million. What is this front office doing, right? Because I know there's some fans out there that are thinking that way, right? Now, a couple different things that the Arizona Cardinals can still do, right? We're just heading into week 1 of preseason. So a couple different things. The Arizona Cardinals can continue to work out people, right? There's a big name out there, and it is there's a big name out there still, and it's Unique Ngakoue. Now, he is my number 1 guy that I would love the Arizona Cardinals to potentially bring in. If we were to choose a free agent that's still out there, it's going to be Yannick Ngakoue all the way, right? Now, if Carl Lawson were to be signed, of course, I would be all gung-ho about it, but my number one guy who I would really want is Yannick. Now, he's still out there, right? So can the Arizona Cardinals decide to bring him in sometime before the start of the regular season? Yeah, they can, right? They absolutely can. So I wouldn't panic just yet if you're a Cardinal fan out there that's panicking about the idea that we haven't signed Carl Lawson and it kind of seems like we're not going to sign Carl Lawson. I think this front office is fully aware that there is a need to fill at that outside linebacking spot or position, because right now we have Zaven Collins and Dennis Gardeck as 1 and 2, right? And I think if you're asking the average Cardinal fan or somebody even not a Cardinal fan, they would probably say that's not a good edge core. So I think that they acknowledge the fact that the Arizona Cardinals need edge, and I'm just hoping that we'll hear some sort of news about the Cardinals working out Yannick Ngakoue, because that will make me really happy. That will make me very, very happy. Now, the Cardinals can do that, or they can wait until the 53-man roster cut down, right? Because right now, obviously, there's a lot of players in the NFL that are not going to make the 53-man cut, and the Arizona Cardinals could potentially poach somebody else's player that they decide to cut, right? Now, I'm assuming there's some teams out there that are really, really rich in the outside linebacking position. We're not, right? We're not privy to that, unfortunately, but there might be a team that can do away with maybe a veteran. There might be a team that out there that can be doing away with the Cardinals, a potential Cardinal player, right? So the Arizona Cardinals can either get Yannick Ngakoue, or the Cardinals can wait until the 53-man roster cut down. Now, that's going to take 3 weeks, which I wouldn't want the Arizona Cardinals to wait that long personally. But with what we've seen from Monty Ossenfort in this regime, it doesn't really seem like they are in dire need of being in a rush. And I don't blame them, but it's a big need, right? The loss of PJ Ojulari is a big need, and I feel like the Arizona Cardinals front office at least needs to acknowledge the elephant in the room. And I hope they can bring somebody in. I'm not asking for a trade, right? And I've heard already people out there coming out here and saying the Arizona Cardinals are not going to trade for somebody, right? They're like, oh, they're not going to trade for somebody. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I'm not asking the Arizona Cardinals to trade for somebody and sign him on a 2-3 million or 2 or 3 year deal. I'm not asking for that. No. What I'm asking for is for the Arizona Cardinals to acknowledge that there is a serious need and at least attempt to fill in the void, right? Because a 1-year deal is not going to derail the Arizona Cardinals rebuild. It's not, right? What it's doing, it's helping the Arizona Cardinals succeed on the defensive side of the ball. What it's doing is trying to help our cornerbacks not having to cover for 5, 7, 6, 10 plus seconds while there's no pressure caused to the opposing quarterback, right? Now, I think there's a lot of promise with the idea that we might be getting some interior pressure with Bilal Nichols as well as Justin Jones. I think we can both acknowledge the fact, and the elephant in the room is the fact that they're not sack nose tackles at all. They are stopping the run guys, right? Now, if we can actually get them to give us some sacks, that would be absolutely huge, right? That would be amazing, but that's not their forte. That's not why they were brought in. They were brought in to mainly stuff the run, and the fact that they don't seem to miss any games. So I feel like it's very important that the Arizona Cardinals acknowledges the elephant in the room. We got the cap space. I'm not asking for a deal or a trade from a Judon or Hassan Reddick, although it would be nice, it would be cool. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking for acknowledge the elephant in the room, right? And in that outside linebacking position, there's a big need. There's a big need. And a 1-year deal is not going to derail the Arizona Cardinals. I said this before, and I'll say it again. It's not going to derail the Arizona Cardinals because next year, he's off the books. It's one of those signings that will be a low risk, high reward type of situation. So that's the way I feel about it. Hope you guys feel the same way. If not, no worries. We're going to be moving on over to... So we're done with Carl Lawson. Right now, it seems like it's not going to happen. It can change. Yes, it can. Maybe tomorrow we'll hear breaking news. Maybe Saturday we'll hear breaking news, right? We don't know, right? But as of right now, per John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports, it seems like he doesn't expect the Arizona Cardinals to sign him. A couple different things we want to talk about before we move on over to the preseason segment, which is who to look out for, right? Who's going to play, right? Because we got some big breaking news coming out earlier today about Marvin Harrison Jr., a little spoiler out there. So we're going to be diving into that a little later on. But I want to first kind of talk about the idea that, what was I going to say? Yeah, I guess that was it, right? I guess that was it. All right, cue the breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, so here we go. We got some news today from Jonathan Gannon that Marvin Harrison Jr., the GOAT, the 4th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, one of the most exciting picks for the Arizona Cardinals, is going to play in week 1 of preseason. Amazing. That's awesome. Right? We already heard that Kyler Murray isn't going to play. We already heard that there will be some names that we know of that will play, right? I think he said Max Melton will play. Now, we don't exactly 100% know what is going to be the level of how long Marvin Harrison Jr. will play, right? Now, obviously, I think when you're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. compared to a Max Melton, or even compared to maybe a Darius Robinson, or heck, maybe even compared to a Tip Ryman, it's going to be different, right? It's gonna be different when it comes down to it. But being the fact that we will get an appearance with Marvin Harrison Jr. on the field in week 1, that's enough for me to tune in, right? And that's enough for, I'm hoping, Cardinals fans to tune in, because you can overall see the 4th overall pick, hopefully, potentially catch a ball from, let's say, for example, maybe Desmond Ridder. Now, I hope it's not Desmond Ridder. I really, really hope it's not Desmond Ridder. I would love to see Clayton Tune, but I think what's going to happen is I think Clayton Tune most likely will be running with the 3s. We probably will be getting Clayton Tune in the second half, while we see Marvin Harrison Jr. with Desmond Ridder, maybe for a drive or two. I don't expect Marvin Harrison Jr. to play a full quarter. I don't expect him to play a half, right? I expect him to probably play a drive or two. Heck, maybe even a drive, right? We don't 100% know. Jonathan Gannon didn't give us privy to the information, but he did come out here and say that Marvin Harrison Jr. will play. Let me know your guys' thoughts here in the comments below. If we can get some mad fire emojis, that would be absolutely wonderful. But yes, Marvin Harrison Jr. will be playing week 1 versus the New Orleans Saints. And honestly, there's a lot of excitement. There's, at least to me, preseason usually doesn't excite me. It usually does. It's like one of those things. I like to cover it because it's Arizona Cardinal football. Does it suck that Kyler Murray isn't playing? Yes. But there's a lot of young players still that I'm excited to watch, right? I'm excited to watch. And that's going to go ahead and move us on over to the next segment here. That's going to move us on over to the next segment. And I want to go ahead and give you an example of who potentially can be playing, right? Let's go ahead and bring up the depth chart of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, let's first start off with the defensive side of the ball, right? Let's first start off with the defensive side of the ball. This is what we're working with right now. And if you can't see it, I apologize. There you go. I think that would be a little better. That's perfect. Okay. All right. This is the defensive side of the ball. Who can we potentially see, right? Now, I don't expect Zaven to play. I don't know if you guys do. I don't expect Zaven to play. Bilal Nichols, I don't expect him to play. Justin Jones, don't expect him to play. Dante Stills, we might see an appearance here or two of Dante. We might. Kazir White, Mac Wilson Sr., probably not, right? The people that are right there in that very first row, we probably won't see. And if we do, it's probably going to be a drive or two. What I'm excited for is seeing what's going to happen here behind Zaven Collins, right? So Xavier Thomas. When B.J. Ojulari went down, there was a lot of people talking about, well, let's see what Xavier Thomas could do, right? Coming out of Clemson, a late round pick for the Arizona Cardinals. Big man. Could he be a potential outside linebacker for the Cardinals? We don't know, right? But it's definitely going to change our mind if the Arizona Cardinals defensive players have a very, very good showing, right? So Xavier Thomas, pretty excited to potentially watch him. Cameron Thomas, that's a name that is constantly in my comments. I feel like I always have like one or two people when I'm talking about the depth chart People always seem to say, you forgot about Cameron Thomas. No, I didn't. I didn't forget about Cameron Thomas. He just hasn't done anything for the Cardinals. So anytime I'm talking about starters or a 53-man roster, I'm not going to lie to you. Cameron Thomas is usually a bubble pick for me, right? Either with us or not. But this is his chance to really come out here and make a name for himself. I didn't forget about him. I promise you I didn't. I promise you I didn't forget about him. But I do think that the Arizona Cardinals edge, there's a lot of unknown when it comes down to that, right? So we got an option to see Xavier Thomas. Not an option, but we are going to see maybe a big dosage of Xavier Thomas, Cameron Thomas, and maybe Tyreek Smith, right? Maybe Tyreek Smith. Now let's move on over to edge on the other side. Dennis Gardick. I don't think we're going to see him. I really, really don't. Lucada, maybe. Marquise Haynes Sr., probably, right? If you don't know who he is, we just got him. Like literally 2 or 3 days ago, we just signed him. Is this going to be a potential guy that we're just bringing in for camp body? Potential guy that's only for preseason? Maybe, right? We don't know. But we're going to see a battle. That's one thing I do know. We're going to see a battle. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see who's going to show out for that outside linebacking position, right? Who's going to show out? Who's going to be that guy? So Xavier Thomas, Cameron Thomas, Tyreek Smith. Who are the other ones? Marquise Haynes, Jesse Lucada. Who's going to be that guy, right? Excited about that. We're not going to see Bilal. I don't think we're going to see Justin. So our options are going to be, can LJ Collier stay healthy, right? Wasn't he a former first-round pick for the Seahawks, right? And the Cardinals scooped him up. So we definitely probably can see LJ Collier. We're definitely going to see Ben Still for sure. We're going to see Phil Hoskins. We're going to see him. Naquan Jones, we're going to see him. Lopez, Tonga, we're probably going to see them a lot as well. I'm not too excited about the interior, right? When it comes out of Justin Jones and Bilal Nichols' position, not too excited about it, but still, there's definitely something to watch. Now, like I said before, I don't think we're going to see Dante, but we might see Darius Robinson, and that's exciting. That's exciting. Because I don't know how to explain to you, and I don't know if you guys have gone to training camps. I don't know if you guys been going to these training camps, but I kid you not. It's hard to evaluate these defensive players because they have to let up so much. When they cause penetration, when they're in the backfield, they got to stop. They can't touch Kyler. They can't breathe on Kyler. They can't do anything to any quarterback that's back there. So it's really hard to evaluate, right? You see them do the individual drills with the bags and stuff like that, right? You see stuff like that, punching drills, not each other, punching the ball out of the opposing team's hands drills. Like, you see that. But this is where the real evaluation process happens for me, right? This is where the real evaluation process happens. So I'm excited about potentially seeing, hopefully, Darius Robinson. I'm not saying we're going to see him a half, but maybe we see him a quarter. I feel like that would be a W. For sure. I do see somebody here in the comments. Did you see the CeeDee Lamb news? Are you talking about what Jerry Jones said? Let me know here in the comments. If that's what you're talking about, yes, I did. Man is insane. If there's something else, let me know here in the comments. So Kazir White and Mac Wilson, I'm not going to lie to you. There's not a lot of excitement outside those two guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, none of these guys behind them really stick out to me and say, I'm excited to watch Kryes Barnes. I'm excited to watch Owen Papu. It does nothing for me. I'm sorry. If you're excited about the inside linebackers, okay. But honestly, outside the number 2 guys, Mac Wilson Sr. and Kazir White, I'm not really too excited this preseason about that position. But let's move on over to cornerbacks. We got to potentially able to see Elijah Jones a lot. Keitrell Clark, Delonte Hood. I don't think we're going to see Sterling Thomas. We might see Max Melton. I mean, we can see Starling Thomas. Maybe not a lot, but Max Melton we can see. Bobby Price. Is it Davion Wilson? Is that his name? I pronounce his name. And Jaden Davis, right? Yeah, that's, excitement. Oh, for sure. Excitement. We got a guy in the chat here says, Kreis, Barnes, and Owen Papu are actually really good. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying I'm just not excited. Like, there's nothing that gets me saying who's going to fight for a position in that group, right? That's what I'm saying. There's no competition. It's Kazir White and Mac Wilson Sr. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're bad players. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's nothing really too much to evaluate when it comes down to it. We know 1 and 2. We know it. So cornerbacks, definitely very, very exciting there. Because although we saw the first depth chart heading into week 1 of preseason, it says Starling Thomas V was over Max Melton, right? Now, this comes right here from ESPN, so don't look too much into the depth chart, like in terms of where everybody's placed. But we can very well see Max Melton, man. It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I don't know if we see Garrett Williams. I don't know if we do. If we do, of course, I'm excited for it, but I don't know if we do. Okay, now let's move on over to the offensive side of the ball, shall we? Let's move on over to the offensive side of the ball. Here we go. Offensive side of the ball. We got my guy Jack in the chat says, how do you watch this game? It's most likely going to be broadcasted on TV if you are in Arizona. If you're in Arizona, it's most likely going to be broadcasted on TV. I'll know more. I'm assuming it's ABC, but I'll know a little bit more once we get closer. Honestly, I haven't really looked into it because I usually just flip on my channel guide on the day and I find it usually. But if you're in Arizona or at least in Phoenix, you're most likely going to get the preseason game. You're probably not going to watch any other preseason game because it's all exclusive for NFL Network. But if you're looking for the Cardinals and if you live in Phoenix, I know that they will be playing it in the airwaves, right? With the bunny ear antenna. So there's that. Okay, let's talk about the offense. Let's move on over to the offensive side of the ball. We know Kyler Murray isn't playing, right? We know that, right? There's nothing to really talk about. Jonathan Gannon has made a decision. I've already seen the people in Twitter, right? I've already seen people come out here and say Josh Allen's playing, right? In preseason, Patrick Mahomes is playing, right? We've already heard it. Okay. It's not our decision at the end of the day, right? Would I want to see Kyler Murray in preseason? Do I think it's important? I would like to see Kyler Murray. I would like to see him in a drive or two and then get him out. I understand the benefits of not playing him, but I do also acknowledge that there is benefits of playing him, right? But it's not in my hands. It's in JG's hands. It's his decision. We're going to leave it at that. We're not seeing Kyler Murray, but we are going to be seeing the two QBs that are potentially going to fight for that number 2 spot, right? Desmond Ridder and Clayton Tune. If you guys have been on my streams, you know how I feel about Desmond Ridder. I've been into multiple of these training camps. And to me, Desmond Ridder does not look good at all. He does not look good. But let's see what he does here during week 1, right? Because we're going to see Desmond Ridder and Clayton Tune. Like, those are going to be either one half for him and the other half for him. We don't know. We don't know how they're going to break it apart. But that is who we're going to see. And I'm excited to see about the evaluation after, right? Let's talk about running backs. Now, James Conner, no go. It's not going to happen. We are not seeing James Conner. If you want to see, it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Amari DeMarcado got hurt. It almost kind of seems like JG doesn't feel like it's too big of a deal, but keep in mind that might be enough for him to not play, right? We don't know. Anything can change from today till Saturday, so anything can change. I don't think we see Amari DeMarcado. I'm just throwing a guess out there. I don't know. I'm no source. I'm just guessing he's not, especially since he's questionable. I don't think he plays, but we could potentially see Trey Benson. Exciting. Yay. We could potentially see Michael Carter. Exciting. Yay. Tony Jones is junior. I think it's junior. Probably see him. And then we could potentially see DJ Dallas, right? I think those are going to be the guys we're probably going to see in this running back running back, I apologize, this running back core in week 1 of preseason. So Trey Benson, I'm excited. Michael Carter, I love Michael Carter. I'm excited. The 2 guys after, let's see what they can do, right? Let's see what they can do. But the running, there's definitely a lot to look at in that running back core. A lot to look at. Wide receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr. is playing. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Like I said, we don't know. It might be just a drive. It might be 2 drives. We don't know. But wide receivers to definitely expect. I don't know if Michael Wilson's playing. He might, right? He might play the same amount that Marvin Harrison Jr. is playing. We don't know. We don't know. Greg Dortch might play. We don't know. Might be the same amount as Marvin Harrison Jr. We don't know. But definitely names to look out for. You can very well see an appearance of Chris Moore. Zach Pascal, you're going to see that. Tyjon Palmer, rookie, you're going to see that. You're going to see him. Andre Bocelli, you're going to see him. Daniel Rise, you're going to see him. Who am I excited about in the wide receiving core? Who am I excited about in the wide receiving core? Obviously, short of the guys that we know are going to be the starters, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch. Zay Jones, I do like a lot. Chris Moore, I think is a good depth piece. One guy that I really want to see in this wide receiving core really make a name for himself in this year's preseason. You want to chime in here? You think you know my answer? I'll let you know right now. One wide receiver that I'm really excited for to hopefully get a spot in this 53-man roster is none other than Xavier Weaver. Now, Xavier Weaver was a undrafted rookie in this last draft. If you guys didn't watch the video that I posted, it's probably one of the most popular videos this year, or at least in the month of April or month of May, whenever I posted it. Because I kind of deep dive Xavier Weaver. He comes from Colorado. He played with Shedeur Sanders, right? Some people said that he was actually his number 1. I'm excited to see what Xavier Weaver can do. I think Xavier Weaver can definitely make some noise. Now, if he doesn't make the 53-man cut, please, for everything, make sure that man is on your practice squad. I feel like this guy can be very, very good for the Arizona Cardinals. He just needs an opportunity. Now, here's the thing. Our wide receiving core, if you ask us, right? If I'm asking you guys in the chat, if you're asking me, we think that our wide receiving core is actually pretty good, right? We don't think it's, oh my God, it's the best, but we think it's actually a really good wide receiving core, right? Michael Wilson going to his second year, if he can stay healthy, he's going to have really good numbers. Greg Dortch is finally getting the opportunity. He's going to get some great numbers. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiving 1, right? We know he's going to be a good wide receiving core, right? Zay Jones, veteran. We know he can do it. He's done it multiple years in the NFL. Chris Moore, also a veteran as well. We know he can do it. So it's a very crowded wide receiving core. So Xavier Weaver is going to need to fight tooth and nail. Tooth and nail to get himself into this 53-man roster. Tooth and nail. Because I just mentioned to you 5 wide receivers that are probably going to make the 53-man cut. Marv, Michael, Wilson, Greg Dortch, Zay Jones, and Chris Moore, right? That's already 5 wide receivers. Can they carry 6? They can, right? But do they bring in Pascal? Do they bring in Bocelli? Do they bring in their drafted rookie in Palmer, right? We don't know. So it's going to be a tough battle. But expect Xavier Weaver to play his heart out. Expect him to play his heart out. I'm excited about that. Let's move on over to the tight end positions. Or the tight end position. Trey McBride, right? We're not going to see Trey McBride. I don't think we are. And if we do, it's probably going to be a drive or 2, right? Probably the same thing as Marvin, right? It's not going to be anything to kind of write home about. Elijah Higgins, we might see. Tip Ryman, we probably will see. And then Travis, however you say that guy's last name, we're most likely going to see a good dosage of them. I don't know how they're going to use Tip Ryman. Are they going to use him as a running player? Are they going to use him as a playmaker in preseason? We don't know, right? But definitely expect Tip Ryman to make an appearance. I don't know how long. I don't know for how much. But definitely expect him to make an appearance. Now, offensive line. I don't think anybody's going to play on the offensive line. I'm going to be 110% honest with you. I don't think any of them is going to play. What's the point, right? What's the point? Paris Johnson Jr. doesn't need to play. Evan Brown, right now, Evan Brown seems to be the leading candidate for that left guard position. Every time I go to training camp, or every time I went to training camp, it was Evan Brown. Evan Brown was the guy there. Except for when Froholt went down for that little bit of a time. He slotted over to the center position, and we saw John Gaines move over to left guard, right? So I don't think we're going to see any of those offensive linemen. You're probably going to see backups, right? Beecham, Isaiah Adams, John Gaines, Cologne, Elijah Wilkinson, those type of guys. And then obviously the people after you're probably going to see towards the end part of the second half of the regular the preseason game. So there's that. So expect those guys during this. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are as well, but this is one of the first times I'm actually very excited about preseason. Like legit. I'm actually really excited about preseason for the very reasons that I just described. We're not going to see our starters, but there's definitely a lot to look for. A lot to look for. Let's get to a couple of these comments. Appreciate y'all for being here, by the way. Let me know if you guys like these late live streams. My live streams are usually in the morning, and then I'm going to get more of a schedule down once the regular season starts. Let me know if you guys like these night live streams. Let me know, because I'm seeing a completely different crowd from the morning crowd to the night crowd. Let me know your guys' thoughts here in the chat below. But let's get to Jordan's comment here. He says, Kyler Murray's getting ready for week 1. Showtime. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like your show, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much, Andy. Thank you so much for being here. I absolutely do appreciate it. Let's go with Sin XL. He says, how is Michael Carter fourth in the depth chart? Your question, or your guess is as good as mine. I don't understand it either. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't think Michael Carter deserves to be that far down. And I think when they released the depth chart, wasn't he even behind DJ Dallas? Like, it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I hope he does make it, though. Let's see if there is an update on Amari Mercado. Last I heard, it wasn't serious. So I think what's going to happen is that he's not going to be playing. He's probably not going to be playing. But I think Jonathan Gannon said today that it's not serious. So for what that's worth, he's probably going to be number 2 for the Cardinals, behind James Conner in the regular season. Whether you like it or not, they're probably going to give a little bit of time for Trey Benson to get his feet under him. It's probably what he's going to be waiting for. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let's keep it with the comments here. Let's go back with Jordan. What's up, Jordan? Appreciate you for being here, by the way. He says, what do you think about the injury of Rondo Moore in Atlanta? That's a tough one. It really is. It's unfortunate. It's a very sad situation. I guess is the best way to describe it. It's a very, very sad and unfortunate situation. I feel bad. I really do. I think that Rondo Moore, man, it's just, it never worked out here. At the end of the day, it didn't work out here, but I never wished any will ill on him, right? I never wished any will ill on him. It's unfortunate. It's sad. It sucks. It really does. It's a very sad and unfortunate situation. It truly is. Hopefully nothing but the best for him. I know he's out for the season because they canceled the entire They canceled the entire practice. Like, that's how bad it was. But it's just, I mean, he's not a Cardinal anymore. So I don't really have too much to say other than that. It's just, hopefully for him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can make some noise when he's healthy. It's just very unfortunate. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's go with what's up, K1? K1 says, Isaiah Adams at left guard. Big guy who can probably be a starter over at Evan Brown by the end of the season. By the end of the season, you might be right, K1. But right in the beginning, I think it's going to be Evan Brown's job to keep. But I do agree with you, though. I think you are speaking facts to the thought of that, yeah, I think you're right. I think he might be the future left guard for the Arizona Cardinals, for sure. For sure. Let's keep it with the comments here. You guys are coming up clutch. I appreciate y'all for being here, by the way. Let's see here. We got my guy Mara says, Rondo Moore was always injured. He did have some injuries with the Cardinals as well. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just, some people just have really bad luck, unfortunately. I don't know. Let's see here. Yes, but going back to that CeeDee Lamb situation, let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that. CeeDee Lamb. If you guys don't know what's happening with CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys are bugging. The Cowboys are bugging, ladies and gentlemen. They are absolutely bugging right now. I don't get that organization. I really, really don't. I do not get the Cowboys organization. It's just he's arguably your best player. And then Jerry Jones came out here and says, I retweeted this. What did he exactly? I don't want to misquote him. But of course, it's a very big question mark out there, right? It's a very big question mark because CeeDee Lamb hasn't came to training camp. So when the reporters asked him about the CeeDee Lamb contract talk, he said, I don't have any urgency to get it done. What? What? You are saying, what? You don't have any urgency to get it done? That's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. You cannot go into the regular season without CeeDee Lamb. We're heading into week 1 of preseason in a couple days, right? There's even some games tomorrow. You got a lot of games on Saturday. I believe there's some Sunday games as well. But once this is done, you got, 3 or 4 more weeks and we're into the regular season? There's no urgency to get it done? What? That's crazy. That's crazy. And CeeDee Lamb actually retweeted it. He retweeted it with an LOL. I mean, what else are you supposed to say, right? What else are you supposed to say? That whole CeeDee Lamb situation and Brandon Ayuk situation, talk about drama that is keeping you on your toes this offseason, right? For once, it's not the Cardinals. That's a great thing, right? For once, it's not the Cardinals. So that's definitely a good thing. Yes, shots fired on the Cardinals. But yeah, I mean, we were just drama all the time. We always were drama all the time. For once, thankfully, it's not the Cardinals. That's all I got to say for that. But Ayuk, I think Ayuk's gone. We need a Niners to trade Ayuk out of our division. I think he's going to. The reports just keep going back and forth, right? He either wants to be a 49er, but he wants to be a 49er, but he wants to get paid big bucks. The 49ers don't want to pay him big bucks, right? So your options are either we trade you somewhere and they extend you, or you stay here and we figure it out, right? Those are your options. And it almost kind of seems like there's just a lot of back and forth going on right now. And it's kind of frustrating because I want him as good as gone out of this NFC West as well. I want him out of here too, right? I love the implosion. I love it. The implosion of the 49ers is wonderful. I absolutely 110% love it. Lamb is better than Ayuk. Facts. Oh yeah, there's no denying. Lamb is better than Ayuk. Oh, factual. Definitely. But obviously we're talking about Ayuk because he's a part of our division, right? Yeah, well, I need him out. I want him out. It's crazy. It really is. But going back over to the Cardinals, right? going back to Cardinal talk here, there's a lot of things to be excited about week 1 of preseason. Let me know your guys' thoughts. What is one player that you're excited to watch in preseason? If you want to use Marvin Harrison Jr., that's fine. You can put that in the chat. What is one player that you want to, or that you're excited about watching in week 1 of preseason? Let me know here in the chat below. And while you're down there in the chat, smack that like button. Right now we're sitting with 28 likes here on YouTube. Let's see if we can hit 40. Come on, we can do it. That's 12 people smacking the like button. That's all it is. So let me know here in the comments below, what is one player, that you're excited to watch this week 1 of preseason? And like I said, if you want to use Marvin, that's completely fine. I respect it. I absolutely respect it. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, we got some people in it coming. Let's keep the comments coming. Before we close up shop, I want to make sure that we at least have 20 people being engaged here in the chat. All right, let's take a look here. Here we go. We got Zay Jones. All right, I like that. I'm not mad at that. All right, we've seen Zay Jones make some crazy catches in preseason. I'm not going to lie to you. Zay Jones has made some crazy catches in preseason. We got Richie G saying Marvin Harrison Jr. is the only answer. Okay, I ain't mad at that. We got Benson. All right, Benson. All right. Let's see. Weaver, here we go. Sin XL. Same mindset, buddy. Same mindset. I'm excited about Weaver too. I know he's going to get a grip of time because he's so down the the depth chart that I think he needs to fight for some sort of position. Elijah Higgins? Okay. Never mind, you say it's all good. And then he said next is Benson. All right. Desmond Ridder. Okay, Jordan, I see you. All right. Desmond Ridder. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to be closing up shop here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a Desmond Ridder in the chat. we got mainly Marvin Harrison Jr. We got some Trey Bensons. We got a Weaver in there as well. All I can say is this. Watch preseason. It's going to be fun. It's going to get you back into the football mode. Although it doesn't count. Although it's probably not going to feel like very exciting because there's going to be a lot of players you don't know. Let's get back into the football season, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back into the football season because that's what it's all about here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, y'all. We're going to be closing up shop right now. Thank you so very much, and I've said this over and over again, but appreciate y'all for tuning in here. If this is your first time here, subscribe, right? If this is your first time here, subscribe it up, smack the like button, and also make sure you have your post notification bell on because we are going to have content coming out of your ears this season. Whether good or bad for the Arizona Cardinals, content out of your ears. So definitely go ahead and subscribe it if this is your first time here. We're going to be doing post-game shows. We're going to be doing reactions, overreaction Mondays, all those type of things. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to have a good, fun-filled show for you guys this season. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. It's always been a pleasure speaking to everybody here in the chat below. As always, have a great rest of your day and go Cards.